My dear friends, now that I've made it to 100, I can tell you, our bodies don't always scream when something's wrong. Sometimes they whisper. And one of those whispers is an itch. You might think it's just dry skin, and maybe it is. But sometimes it's your liver, your kidneys, your blood sugar, or your nerves trying to send you a message. I've seen it happen. A good friend of mine ignored a strange itch in his hands for weeks. Turned out his liver was in trouble. Thankfully, he caught it just in time. That taught me something I want to share with all of you. When you're over 70, you don't brush off weird symptoms, especially if they stick around. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 types of itching I've learned to take seriously. From your scalp to your feet, each one can be a small sign of a bigger problem. Let's pay attention, not out of fear, but because we've come too far to take chances with our health now. 1. Itching in the palms and soles. A signal from inside, my friends, let me tell you. When your hands or feet start to itch for no clear reason, especially late at night, don't just blame it on dry skin. I used to think that too. But over the years, I've seen that itching in these spots can be your body's way of waving a red flag. One close friend of mine had this strange, tingling itch in his palms that kept him up at night. He thought maybe it was from working outside or using harsh soap. But after some blood tests, it turned out his liver wasn't working the way it should. You see, when the liver slows down, toxins and bile can build up in your blood, and that can irritate the nerves in your skin, especially in the palms and soles. I've also known folks with kidney problems who had the same kind of itch. Their bodies weren't getting rid of waste properly, so it showed up in their skin. Itching that doesn't go away, especially if your skin also looks yellow, or if you're tired all the time. That could be a sign your liver or kidneys need help. And don't forget about blood flow. As we get older, our circulation slows down. That means less oxygen to the skin in your hands and feet, which makes it dry, irritated, and more likely to itch. So if your palms or the soles of your feet start bothering you day after day, especially at night, I urge you, get it checked. It might seem small, but it could save you from something serious down the road. 2. Itching in the armpits. More than just sweat. Now let's talk about something a little awkward. Itchy armpits. I know, it sounds like nothing. We all get sweaty, maybe wear clothes that rub the wrong way and figure it's no big deal. But at our age, I've learned that when an itch sticks around in the same spot, there might be more going on. I remember one old friend of mine, sharp guy, always took care of himself, started scratching under his arms almost every day. He thought it was just the heat or his laundry soap, but the skin under his arms began to darken and it got rough and bumpy. Turns out it was a sign of high blood sugar. He was later diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You see, when blood sugar stays high, it damages the nerves and dries out the skin. Warm, damp places like the armpits become perfect spots for problems to start. And not just dry skin, but infections too. Fungal infections love those areas. And if your immune system isn't as strong anymore, which is common for us, they're even harder to fight off. If you notice the itch gets worse when you sweat, or doesn't go away after bathing, or your skin changes color or texture, please don't ignore it. It could be diabetes, an infection, or something else your body wants you to know. So don't be embarrassed. Your armpits are trying to tell you something. And at 100 years old, I say we listen. 3. Scalp itching. When the top of your head tells a deeper story. Now let's move up, right to the top of your head. If you've been dealing with an itchy scalp that just won't quit, especially at night, I want you to pay attention. I've been there myself, lying in bed, scratching my head, wondering if it was just the shampoo or the dry air. But sometimes it's not that simple. You see, the scalp has a lot of tiny nerves, and when something's off inside your body, those nerves can start sending signals, like an itch. For some folks I've known, that itch was tied to their liver. When the liver isn't clearing out toxins the way it should, those toxins can build up and irritate your skin, including the scalp. And often the itching gets worse at night. Other times it's your nerves themselves causing the trouble. People with conditions like Parkinson's disease, diabetes, or even just long-term stress may have nerve damage that makes the skin extra sensitive. I've had friends who felt like bugs were crawling on their head. but there was nothing there, just a nervous system acting up. Even poor blood flow or hormone changes as we age can dry out the scalp and make it more reactive. So if you've tried dandruff shampoos, lotions, oils, and the itch keeps coming back, don't just tough it out. At our age, an itchy scalp might be more than just a nuisance. It could be your body saying something deeper is going on. And believe me, after 100 years, I've learned the sooner we listen, the better. 4. Itching in the calves, not just dry skin. My friends, let's talk about those itchy calves, something many of us brush off as just dry skin, especially in the colder months. I used to think the same. A little flaking, a little scratching, no big deal. But over time, I realized that itch could be the tip of something bigger. As we get older, our blood doesn't flow as easily to the farthest parts of the body, and the calves are one of those places. Poor circulation means your skin isn't getting enough oxygen or nutrients, which makes it dry, fragile, and yes, itchy. Some of my buddies found out the hard way. That constant itching in their lower legs was linked to peripheral artery disease or chronic vein problems. And let's not forget the thyroid. When your thyroid slows down, something that's quite common after 60, your whole metabolism drops and your skin dries out fast. That's why an itchy calf might show up alongside other symptoms like cold feet, fatigue, or even weight gain. Diabetes can also play a role. High blood sugar damages small nerves and reduces blood flow, especially in the lower legs. You might feel pins and needles, or even a strange crawling feeling. Sometimes the skin looks fine, but the itch is there, deep, stubborn, and worse at night. So if your calves itch every evening, if the skin feels rough, or if you're swelling or cramping more than usual, please don't chalk it up to just old age. After 100 years of walking this earth, I can tell you, your legs may be trying to tell you something important. And if we listen early, we might just keep them moving for many years to come. 5. Genital itching, silent, stubborn, and often ignored. Now, my friends, I know this isn't the easiest thing to talk about, but we're all adults here, and after 100 years, I've learned that the things we're too embarrassed to say out loud are often the ones we most need to face. Genital itching is one of those issues many folks ignore, hoping it'll go away on its own. But let me tell you, when that itch lingers, especially at our age, it's time to pay attention. For women, especially after menopause, this itch is often caused by a drop in estrogen. That hormone keeps the skin and tissue down there soft and moist. When it drops, things can get dry, tight, and irritated. Some ladies feel itching, burning, or even pain when they go to the bathroom and think it's just part of aging. But it doesn't have to be. In both women and men, yeast infections and bacterial imbalances can also cause trouble, especially if your immune system isn't what it used to be. The itch might come with unusual discharge, redness, or even a bad smell. I've also known folks who got infections from soaps, laundry detergent, or even wearing the wrong kind of fabric for too long. And yes, though we don't like to talk about it, sexually transmitted infections can still happen, even in our older years. If you have a partner or had one recently and things don't feel right down there, don't be ashamed. Just be smart and get it checked. What I want you to remember is this. Genital itching may seem like a small problem, but it's your body's way of asking for help, and we've come too far to ignore that. Whether it's dryness, infection, or something more serious, getting the right care can make a world of difference, not just for your comfort, but for your dignity too. 6. Anal itching. Not a laughing matter. Now this one might make some folks chuckle, but believe me, anal itching is no joke. I've lived through a whole century, and I can tell you, if something back there starts itching, especially at night, it deserves your full attention. I had a neighbor once, strong guy still gardening in his 80s, who started waking up from sleep because of intense itching around his backside. He thought it was just irritation from wiping or maybe something he ate. But after finally going to the doctor, he found out he had hemorrhoids and early signs of a rectal infection. The truth is, there are many causes behind this kind of itch. Sometimes it's simple things, soaps that are too harsh, poor hygiene, or wiping too hard. But other times, it's more serious, like hemorrhoids, skin infections, or even early signs of colorectal disease. If the itching lasts more than a few days, gets worse at night, or comes with bleeding, pain when using the toilet, or mucus, don't wait. And please don't be embarrassed. I've seen too many people ignore this issue because they thought it was just awkward. At our age, the goal is comfort, dignity, and health. And that includes every part of the body, even the parts we don't like to talk about. So if your backside is trying to tell you something, listen. It could be a warning worth hearing. We've lived long enough to know it's not always the pain that tells us something is wrong. It's often the small, strange signs. So if you or someone you love has an itch that won't go away, especially in these places, scalp, armpits, hands, feet, private areas, or calves, talk to your doctor. Early detection saved my friend Koji, and it might save someone you love too. Stay alert, stay curious, and above all, take care of this amazing body that's carried you through so much.
If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.